Well, welcome back to my channel to a trail camera review. I'm excited because this is a brand new release from a company called Izeeker. And this camera, when it arrived, looks nearly identical to a camera that I recently reviewed. And that camera is one of my favorites. So now, will this live up to the hype? It's a dual lens camera. It has 4K video and it's advertised as 48 megapixel. I'm going to show you what comes inside the package. I'm going to put it to work and I'm going to show you sample photos and videos I get from this camera. I can't wait to see the quality I get. Let's dig into this package. So it is from Izeeker, and here's some of the specs on it. Again, 4K video, and you can see some of the other specifications. Inside the package we get a user's manual. It is the IG600 model. Here's the actual trail camera. We'll take a closer look at that in just a second, but we also get some accessories. Over on this side is a tree strap that you can use to attach it to a tree. You get a USB cable. We get an optional wall mount that's going to allow you to mount it to a wall or a flat surface if you so choose. And we also get 4 AA batteries. Let's take a closer look at the camera itself. Again, it has dual lenses, one for the daytime, one for the nighttime. You're going to want to remember to remove all your films here, even on all the lenses and PIR sensors. On the side of the camera, as you can see here, it has a place that you can latch and lock the case from being opened. It does have 2 latches here that, when opened up, has a large display screen here that you can play back your videos and also set up your menu. It has a 3-position on, off, and setup switch. And of course, you can navigate through all your different settings. You can replay your photos and videos back on your screen by simply pressing that. On the bottom here, you can see it takes a full-size SD card, and it actually comes with a 32 gig card right out of the package. So between the 4 AA batteries and this 32 gig card, you are ready to use this the day you get it. On this side, it does have a place for the batteries. As you can see, it has a spot here for 8 batteries, but again, this camera can be run on 4 or 8. I can tell you right now, I would recommend putting 8 batteries, but it comes with 4 to get you started. So as promised, I'm going to put batteries in this and then put it out into the woods, and I'm going to start collecting photos and videos to see what type of quality this camera can produce. Again, I have pretty high hopes. Let's see how good it is. I'm going to start showing those to you right now. Now I wanted to talk about the Wi-Fi feature that this camera offers. There's always some confusion about what that means. It does not mean that this is a cellular trail camera. It cannot remotely send you photos and videos as it captures them and send them straight to your smartphone automatically. Nor can this camera connect to your home Wi-Fi. So if you have Wi-Fi at your home and you place this camera close to your house, maybe in your backyard, it cannot connect to the Wi-Fi that way, and you cannot view the photos and videos. What it does mean is this camera creates a Wi-Fi hotspot that when you download the free app through Izeeker, you can connect to this camera through that Wi-Fi hotspot that the camera creates. Now there are limitations to this Wi-Fi feature, and most notably is distance. You have to be within 50, maybe 100 feet from this camera in order for this feature to work. Again, you cannot remotely receive photos and videos from this trail camera, nor can you hook to your home's Wi-Fi. But when you are within close proximity of this camera, you can open up your free app and connect to the Wi-Fi signal that this camera creates. I'm going to do a quick demonstration. So now there's a couple of steps you have to do on the initial setup when you first connect to this, but after you have that set up, it's relatively easy. You can open up the free app that they offer, and you can just simply click this plus button. After that, you get this live feed right here on your smartphone app. And this makes it extremely handy for setting up this camera. You can close the camera's door and be connected through the Wi-Fi app. You can walk in front of the camera and make adjustments and make sure you have it set just right at the perfect angle to get that perfect shot. But some other things that you can do with this Wi-Fi and the free app is you can click the gear icon and you have access to all the different settings that this camera offers. You can scroll through there and make changes. You can scroll through the different options and fully customize this camera right here through your smartphone. Now you still have the option, like the traditional trail cameras do, and to set up those settings in the menu. But this gives you one additional option through the Wi-Fi feature and the app. The other thing I'll touch on is the photos and videos that are recorded on this camera. You have access right here through this Wi-Fi. You can click on the album here and it brings up the previously recorded photos and videos. You can click on those photos and videos, and in this case it's a video. It buffers for a short amount of time and then it plays that video. Now I get hundreds of videos on my cameras and I predominantly run it on video mode, so it simply isn't practical to download all the videos to my app through this Wi-Fi. It would simply take too long. Where I find this Wi-Fi feature to be most valuable is during the setup. I love being able to bring up that live view and to get that camera at just the right angle. Now you may find it useful if you take a lot of photos or you don't want to physically touch that camera and you want to connect through that Wi-Fi app and download them to your phone. You may do it that way. You may also delete the photos and videos that are on that card through the app. And of course, you have the option to download them if you so choose. So I've been showing you sample photos and videos from this trail camera. I touched on the Wi-Fi feature and what its capabilities are. It is now time for my final thoughts. I'm going to start out with the positives. This camera has excellent photo and video quality. I went into it with pretty high expectations and it lived up to every one of those expectations. I'm going to continue to show you sample photos and videos. This trail camera is capable of taking extremely clear photos and videos both daytime and nighttime. The nighttime illumination is impressive. It has two high-powered IR lights. A lot of trail cameras have 30, 40 smaller IR lights. This camera has two high-powered IR lights and they do an excellent job. At nighttime, you can see from edge to edge of your photo or video. It also reaches out probably 80, maybe 100 feet. I ran this camera at several different locations in a wide open field, which is typically the hardest for a trail camera's IR to perform at night. It did exceptionally well, and the camera did equally as well in a more confined or wooded area. I could not be happier with how this camera performed. Now this camera features the dual lens. That means it has a dedicated daytime lens and a dedicated nighttime lens. That means when it switches from daytime to nighttime, there's no potential for noise. There's no IR filter that has to flip down or click into place. It simply has a dedicated lens for the nighttime, eliminating virtually any noise that this camera would make. This camera also offers very good audio when you have the camera in video mode. So this microphone does a good job picking up the ambient sound around the camera. If there's an animal walking, you can hear it walking in the leaves. If there's different noises around the camera, it picks them up very well. If it's extremely windy, of course you can hear that. If there's birds singing, you'll hear that. All in all, this camera does a very good job with its audio when you have the camera on video mode. Another positive is a feature that this camera offers that I have yet to talk about. And that is when you're in video mode, it offers auto lengthening. In other words, you get to choose the minimum amount of time that the video will be going, from 5 seconds up to 3 minutes long. But then it offers an auto lengthening. You can turn this feature on or off. When turned on, if there's motion in front of the camera continues to record. Now this feature works both daytime and nighttime, and I liked having the option that when there are animals in front of the camera, you can have the auto lengthening turned on and it'll continue to record and you won't miss the action. Now there were instances if it's a small animal and it wasn't close enough to the camera would stop at that minimum length that you originally set, but that's what all trail cameras do. To have this feature of the auto lengthening, if it's a larger animal, if it's moving a lot and it's fairly close to the camera, it will just continue to record. I like this feature and I hope that more trail cameras will offer this in the future. Now there's many more positives. Again, I really like this trail camera. It has security. You can put a padlock to keep the latch from being opened and somebody taking your SD card. Has a place for a Python security cable. Again, that can help reduce theft. But are there any negatives or things that I would like to see changed? Well, first thing that comes to mind is the plastic buckle on the tree strap. It worked, but it's plastic, and when it's cold temperatures, it does have the potential to break. That's just a minor concern. Another thing I wanted to touch on is some of the features that this camera offers. Now this camera is advertised as having 3 different color modes. It has the daytime color mode, the nighttime IR, which is your black and white that typical trail cameras have, and then it says it offers a nighttime color mode. That means in low light, it can still take color photos and videos. Now I'm mentioning this feature in the cons because I don't see that working very well. Now the dedicated nighttime lens does have an f-stop of 1.4. This helps give you that better nighttime clarity of the photos and videos. It's very sensitive to any type of ambient light. If there is a minimal amount of light, it can pick it up with that dedicated nighttime lens. But I simply did not get color nighttime photos or videos, even when I had the camera placed out along the field edge, where at nighttime I thought it might be able to get some moonlight or some more ambient light. I didn't get color photos or videos. Now, is that a deal breaker? Well, no, not for me, because of the exceptional quality of the nighttime photos and videos that I did get. So in my opinion, this is a great feature that not many trail cameras offer. I would love to see this fine-tuned or perfected. In this particular camera, at the particular firmware that they're running now, it did not work well for me. So those were my final thoughts. It might sound like I had a lot of negatives piled on there at the end, but keep in mind, for me, that was not a deal breaker. The only issues I had were with some of the features that no other trail camera or virtually no other trail cameras even offer. So I think they're onto something, and when they get them fine-tuned, this is going to be even more impressive of a trail camera. As it is crystal clear photos and videos, or at least in my opinion. You can see the samples for yourself and make a judgment for yourself. But I have a name brand 4K camera that costs more than double what this camera cost, and I would prefer this camera over that. I think this camera is that impressive in its photo and video quality. Had a good trigger speed, it had a good trigger distance, and again, those night IR lights illuminated very good. I could see crystal clear. Well, it is trail cameras like this Izeeker that continue to motivate me to make these trail camera reviews. I love finding a no-name camera that can outperform and that costs less than a comparable brand name camera. So if you have any comments or questions, maybe there's something that I totally missed, I'd love to hear from you. Please put your comment down in the comment section. I'll also be placing a link to this camera down in the description. If you would like more information, or maybe you would like to purchase one for yourself, I'd appreciate if you go through the link in my description. I get a small commission and it helps me to continue to bring reviews just like this one. I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.